Before Plato wrote of ideas and before Stoics spoke of logos, the Greeks told a darker truth. Light is born from exile, a hunted mother, a forbidden island, a world that says not here. This is not a children's myth. It's the Greek doctrine of illumination. How consciousness becomes sun. Tonight we enter the oldest stratum of Greek thought, where myth is philosophy and code. Zeus is not a sky dad, he's mind. Hera is not gossip, she's soul, protective, possessive, resistant. Leto is forgotten wisdom wandering the earth, and Apollo, awareness made visible. When these forces collide, Greece doesn't just tell a story, it explains awakening. Hera bars the world to Leto. No city, no island may receive her. On the surface, petty divine politics. Underneath, the soul's refusal to admit a higher order. Every transformation threatens what currently rules us. Hera's jealousy is the immune system of the psyche. The ancient Greek way to say, before light is born, the soul will try to keep things as they are. Until the old order is faced, nothing new can incarnate. This is why Leto wanders, 9 days, 9 nights, a pregnancy of time itself, not across geography, but across states of being. When the world refuses you, find ground that belongs to no one. Delos rises from the sea, floating, unclaimed, beyond decree. Philosophically, Delos is inner neutrality, a mind not owned by fear, tribe, habit, or ego. Only in that unpossessed space can the new be born. The Homeric hymn paints the scene like cinema. Winds fall, sea calms, the island promises sanctuary. Leto grips a palm and an olive, symbols of order and peace, anchoring herself between earth and sky as if to say, I will root awareness in the world. Hera plays her final card. She withholds Aletheia, goddess of childbirth. Without her, labor stalls. Light cannot pass through the gate. This is genius psychology. You can be pregnant with truth, yet without the right function of the soul, it won't emerge. Enter Iris, the rainbow messenger, sent to fetch Aletheia from Olympus in secret. A bridge appears between realms. An inner signal travels from mind to soul, from Zeus to Hera's court, to unlock what resistance has frozen. Aletheia arrives. The world exhales. The goddesses circle Leto, chanting. The hymn says the island glows, the air sweetens. This is the moment of passage every philosophy tries to name, and every life eventually feels. When something you carried for years finally becomes real. Leto gives birth, first silver Artemis, then golden Apollo. Washing, pure water, white cloth, golden bands, ambrosia. These are not props, they're states of clarity. Cleansing, removing distortion. White cloth, the mind unblemished. Bands, discipline binding the newborn light to purpose. Ambrosia, the taste of the undying. Apollo does not merely shine, he orders. His first gift is not heat but measure, music, rhythm, proportion. To the Greeks, truth is audible before it's visible. When the mind is right, the world sounds right. The music of the spheres is not metaphor. It's the experience of a rightly tuned life. It's easy to villainize Hera, but we refuse to do so. Her resistance is structural. The soul clings to continuity so reality doesn't tear. If Hera simply surrendered, anything could enter. But when Zeus' mind and Hera's soul reconcile after Apollo's birth, Greece is saying, the goal is not escape but integration. Mind without soul is sterile. Soul without mind is blind. When they join, the world evolves. This is the episode's philosophical center. Zeus plus Leto creates Apollo, the light of understanding. Zeus plus Hera creates Cosmos, the stable order where that understanding can live. This is why the text warns against reading the myth as temple gossip. It says plainly, Zeus as nous, intellect, Hera as psyche, soul. Their marriage is the permanent accord required for civilization. Without it, culture becomes superstition or technique without wisdom. With it, law, art, science, and ritual align like columns under a single roof. If mind and soul don't unite in us, we stay double, torn between appetite and abstraction, between numbness and frenzy. When they do unite, the sun rises inside, and the human being stops being a battlefield and becomes a temple. After birth, the hymn shows ritual ordering, washing, binding, placing, nourishing. This is the Greek insistence that illumination must acquire form. No form, no future. So Apollo is given measure. He is literally strapped into the cosmos with golden bands of duty. It's the opposite of modern follow your bliss. For the Greeks, you bind bliss to purpose so it doesn't evaporate. Hera, once withholding, becomes the lawful queen beside Zeus. Philosophically, the soul stops fighting the mind and starts feeding it. Jealousy converts into jealous care. The soul now protects the integrity of what mind has begotten. The soul must consent to what the mind knows. If she withholds consent, the truth remains unborn. A crucial warning appears. Whoever chases mind without soul becomes transparent and brittle. A ghost of intelligence with no weight. Whoever clings to soul without mind becomes opaque and heavy. A body of cravings that drags thought into shadow. The Delian sacrament, Leto to Apollo. Birth of clarity, the Heraic sacrament, Hera to Zeus. Establishment of order, awakening and administration, sunrise and city. Greece is never just private spirituality. When Apollo rises, music, geometry, law, and medicine align. Temples face the sun. Choruses learn ratio. Doctors balance the elements. Citizens swear by measure. Civilization is the application of light. This is why the ancients swore oaths by the Tetractys and built with proportion. They were not decorating. They were obeying the logic of a world that has remembered itself. What is Leto in you? The part that knows you can't keep living the old way. What is Hera in you? The part that fears losing control. What is Zeus in you? The courage to unite with what scares you because it is true. Find your Delos, a morning, a room, a vow that belongs to no master. Call your Iris, bridge your divided life, body to mind, fear to duty. Invite Eiletheia, the function that lets truth pass into action, mentor, ritual, deadline. Grip the palm and olive. Anchor in discipline and peace. Then let Apollo be born, not as mood but as measure you keep tomorrow. The above can be written like a law. Mind plus mystery creates light. Zeus plus Leto becomes Apollo. Mind plus soul creates world. Zeus plus Hera becomes order. Light without order becomes burst that fades. Order without light becomes machine that devours. Light bound to order becomes civilization. This is why the birth is followed by enthronement, and why myth ends not in rapture, but in marriage. They said light began with a woman no land would accept, that the sea itself raised an island to give wisdom a place to breathe, that the gods hid the midwife and a rainbow stole her back. They said a mother gripped a palm and an olive and brought the sun into the world. They were not wrong. When your soul stops running and your mind stops hiding, the island appears. The messenger returns. The gate opens, and the world you live in becomes the world you build. This is not myth against science. This is ancient Greek philosophy speaking in the only language big enough for truth, story. And its verdict is simple. The brightest gods are born from the darkest journeys, then sworn to the hardest laws. That is how light remains. That is why Apollo still rises.